Hi there. Welcome to the Adventurers Guild. I don't remember seeing you around before. Are you new? Well then, a double welcome, friend. Are you wanting to sign up? Join the guild, go off on some adventures? I can certainly help with that. We have a bit of an onboarding process, but nothing you can't handle, I'm sure. What's your name? Really glad to meet you. I'm the Guild Master. You can call me Guild Master. Have you heard of me? That's good. I like to think my reputation precedes me. I've been running this place for a couple years now, ever since the last Guildmaster went out on an ill-fated escort mission. Oh, I warned him. The person he was escorting was particularly problematic, with a very long road ahead and a very slow pace, but the reward was high and he thought he could handle it. He ended up snapping partway through the journey. It was tragic. Oh, yes, he called the client a variety of unpleasant names, put his boots on his head, and ran off into the wilderness, never to be seen again. We were all terribly sad about it. Yes, well, I'm sure that won't happen to you, especially if you don't take any arduous, lengthy escort missions with clients who walk just a tiny bit too slow. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. Let's get some information about you and see what we're dealing with, okay? Oh yes, I can see you for sure. You definitely make an entrance. You practically sparkle when you walk. It's a lot. We'll get to that. First, why don't you have a seat right here? There you go. Are you comfortable? Some of that plate doesn't look like it would be easy to sit in. Okay then, if you're fine, I'm fine. Now, let me get my membership scrolls out. Right. So what we're going to do is talk a bit about you, your class, your level, your experience, and your gear. And then we can slot you into a good place to get started on quests. Once you're placed at the right ranking in the guild, you can choose quests from that quest board over there, or you can assist other members with their own jobs. Every bit of work you take is paid in some way, either as a share of loot or a set rate paid by whoever hires you. We are firm believers in appropriate compensation for work around here. Does that all sound good? Awesome. So let's figure out how to rank you, okay? I beg your pardon? Listen, sweetness, I appreciate that you're eager to get started, but nobody starts at the highest rank. That's just not possible. Besides, I don't know you. You're new around here. And I can't just take your word for it that you know what you're doing. Really? You think so? Oh, like I said, you do make an entrance. You look like a dragon's hoard that sprouted legs. I've honestly never seen such shiny and elaborate gear, but here's the thing. Shiny doesn't equal powerful. Not around here, anyway. Well, then let's talk about it a bit. What's your class? I see. That's what I figured, given the sheer volume of weapons on you. And how long have you been a fighter? Right. Okay, so let's talk experience. How many dragons have you slain, and were they alone or with a party? None? No dragons at all? Are you quite sure? How about any yetis? Kill any of those? Okay, well, maybe you haven't been to the snowy regions. Have you killed any undead? Or maybe some demons? Really? How about goblins? Goblins are pretty easy. Okay, how about abyssal chickens? Have you at least slain a single abyssal chicken? What have you killed? I don't think that counts as a battle for the purposes of your ranking. Oh, I don't doubt all 3 squirrels were in very bad moods. They probably had it coming. But that doesn't mean that fighting them was enough of a fight, if that makes sense. Unless they were somehow cursed or enchanted or just regular squirrels, I see. Okay then, based on what you've told me, I'm not really seeing much in the way of experience. You certainly have enthusiasm, but you haven't done much actual fighting. Do you see what I mean? What about your gear? How is that relevant? Did you get this gear through battle or something? Was it a reward for clearing a dungeon or liberating a small town? Yeah, I would hope not. Although, now that I know you actually paid for this stuff, I worry a bit about your intelligence stats. Oh, I suppose the merchant who sold it to you was very convincing. They probably told you the more elaborate the armor, the more effective it is at protecting you. Is that fair to say? Yeah, I hate to tell you this, friend, but you've been had. They probably smelled a sucker a mile away when you walked in. How much did you pay for all this? Holy... Oh, that much? Where did you get that kind of coin in the first place? I see. I guess that makes sense, but then you... Okay. You look a bit agitated. Let's dial it back a bit. I'm not trying to make you feel stupid or silly. I'm just trying to help educate you, protect you even. Because no matter what that merchant told you, and no matter how shiny and sparkly it is, this gear is not good. Not even remotely good. I'm sure because I've been doing this a long time, and I can rate every bit of gear I come across. Call it one of my powers. Maybe it comes with being the guild master. Maybe it's just one of those things, but whatever it is, I'm never wrong. And you have some real garbage strapped to your body. Okay, well, let's start here. These boots. Very pretty. I like the diamond toe guard, but are they comfortable? Of course not. You look miserable hobbling around on them. And on top of that, they have worse stats than a standard pair of leather boots. Like, significantly worse. You might as well strap rocks to your feet. Again, pretty doesn't mean effective. Now, take this breastplate. It's absolutely gorgeous. It looks like gold. It shines like gold. It's probably heavy like gold. Yeah, no, it's not gold. And even if it were, gold is a terrible metal for armor. Way too soft, way too good at conducting heat. But that doesn't really matter because what you have here is barely armor at all. If anything, it's a takeout container. You are wrapping yourself in shiny but ineffective metal so the monsters you face can easily take you home and eat you later. You might as well twist yourself into a swan shape. Look, I'm calling it like it is. Part of my job as guildmaster is being honest with my members about what they're working with. This gear is terrible. It looks beautiful and works about as well as wet paper. How many belts are you wearing exactly? That is way too many. And this cape, you know capes get caught on things a lot, right? Capes are a terrible idea in almost every context. Look, it doesn't even have a hood on it that you can pull up when it rains. It's just cloth on your back. But honestly, it might be better protection than the armor under it, which is sad, really. Oh, I'm not done. I want to address this helmet. This is some very pretty inlay work. I can't argue with that, but it's got negative stats. Yes, I'm sure. That means that what would ordinarily be a slight blow to the head will become a massive head wound if you get hit while wearing this. It makes your situation actively worse. I have no idea why it exists. It's certainly counterintuitive. Did you piss off this particular merchant or something? Did they have a grudge against you? Because sending someone out in this helmet is like sending them out with a curse. Almost a guaranteed death. Now I'm very glad that you haven't been in any real fights. You wouldn't be here now if you had. Hey, believe it or not, I like you. I think you have potential. You certainly have the fighting spirit. And you seem really dedicated to doing the best job you can. You just don't have much in the way of experience. Not yet, anyway. Not enough to venture forth in a party and hope to be of any use. And you made some very, very bad choices in gear. Or rather, you were tricked into it. I would very much like to know where and when you bought all of this, so I can send someone out and teach that merchant a lesson, honestly. The guy's trying to get people killed. Who knows? Everyone has their reasons. Maybe he knew you, even if you didn't know him. Maybe he had a bone to pick with your family. But in the end, it doesn't matter. We'll put the word out not to do business with him at the very least. And we need to get you some gear that won't make you dead as fast as possible. I know that. Do you have any money left at all? Ah, I see. You thought you'd make a bunch back on the quests. I get you. Don't fret, it's fine. There are other options. Here's what we can do. We can sell some of this to a scrapper, or maybe even a blacksmith. See if it can be repurposed into something a little more useful. And then, maybe you can work here for me. You know, doing some odd jobs, cleaning, running errands, that sort of thing. I've been thinking about hiring an assistant anyway, so this is pretty perfect timing. And it would be a pretty sweet deal. You'd have a roof over your head, a bed to sleep in, plenty of food. The kitchen's always open. Oh yes, you never know when a tired and hungry party might show up. We look after our own around here. You wouldn't be a full-fledged guild member, but you'd be a sort of apprentice. You'd earn your keep and also earn a little extra to buy better gear with. And you could even train with some of our other fighters if you like. Learn to use some of the weapons that you're carrying around. Honestly, the sword isn't half bad. The axe is passable too, certainly a good start. And I know a blacksmith who can clean them right up, sharpen everything, even raise the stats a bit. So what do you say? Unless you have somewhere else to be or another lodging situation set up for yourself? Okay then. You do me a favor and hang around and work. I'll do you a favor and relieve you of this nightmare of a kit, starting with that helmet. I think we might need to summon a demon to destroy this thing. Ugh. It's all good. Welcome to town, friend. Once you get settled and get things moving, I think this will be quite the adventure. Hey, Sweetness. Special shout out to this audio's randomly selected Sweetness patron, Sato Liger. Thank you so much to all of my patrons. You make this channel possible. If you like what you hear, be sure to hit the subscribe button below. Leave a like, and check out the links in the description for my other channels, my Patreon full of great perks, and all the ways you can support me with my gratitude. Thanks for listening.